Rio de Janeiro, cidade maravilhosa, the marvelous city. One of the most iconic cities in the world, from the famous Copacabana waters that line the edge of the Atlantic Ocean to the sprawling labyrinths of the favelas that extend high into the mountains above the city. Full of energy, life, and diversity, around a fifth of the population of Rio lives in favelas. But favelas are informal settlements, basically slums, and they often lack basic infrastructure and are subject to a very heavy militarized police response. Even though it's estimated that a large proportion of Rio's population live in favelas, those citizens are often stigmatized and criminalized by politicians and the police just because they come from the favelas. They face two types of discrimination, based on both their race and their class.
The names of those killed in police operations were read out loud. Most of them have one thing in common: they're black and poor.
Born and bred in Rio's largest favela, a Favela da Maré, Marielle Franco, a bisexual Afro-Brazilian woman with an ardent love for her community. She became increasingly aware of the social inequalities and forms of police brutality experienced by the inhabitants of Rio's communities. One day, Marielle told her partner, Mônica Benício, that she was thinking about running for Rio's city council. Now, Brazil is a notorious dangerous place for environmentalists or land defenders, but also for politicians running for local public offices. And as a passionate feminist and human rights activist, Mônica's gut reaction was that this was a bad idea. But Marielle determined to make a difference to her community and run for election. And in 2016, she raced to victory, winning the fifth highest vote count in the city.
E entre os becos e vielas da favela, sobreviver é a nossa maior resistência. Agora chegou a nossa vez. Vamos ocupar o nosso lugar na cidade e na política, ter o que nos é de direito. Nossa voz, muitas vezes silenciada, terá de ser ouvida.
That same year, Marielle began politically aligning herself with PSOL, Partido Socialismo e Liberdade, the Socialism and Freedom Party. She was a militant advocate of human rights in Rio and quickly became a prominent voice against the militias and the heavy militarized presence of Brazilian policy in Rio, who just a year later, in 2017, were reaching their bloody peak when 1,127 people were killed.
Another military operation in the streets of Rio. This is what poor Brazilians in hundreds of slums or favelas are going through day in, day out.
In early March 2018, the year of the presidential elections, politics was incredibly polarized as all sides mobilized their supporters. Marielle continued to campaign with her trademark vigor and delivered a blistering speech on one of her most enduring topics, rampant police violence in favelas. Just a week later, at around 9:30 p.m. on 14 March 2018, Marielle was in her car returning home after attending an event which encouraged Black women's empowerment in northern Rio. A car pulled alongside her. 9 shots were fired directly into Marielle's car. She was killed instantly. Her driver, Anderson Gomes, was also killed in ambush. Observers note that unusual precision of the attack, and Marielle's position as a councilwoman points to her murder being orchestrated by powerful people capable of hiring highly skilled killers. In 2019, an ongoing investigation into her murder named former military police officers Rony Lessa and Elcio Vieira de Queiroz as the material actors of the murder. Charges were brought against Lessa and Queiroz, who will face a popular jury. However, 3 years have passed and the police has not clarified who ordered the murder and the motive behind the crime. Adriano da Nóbrega, a notorious hitman from a gang of contract killers named Escritório do Crime Office, and who had alleged close ties to Bolsonaro's family, was pointed as a key piece in uncovering Marielle's murder mastermind. He was killed in a police operation in February 2020, and no proof of his involvement in the assassination was found.